Good day, everybody, from my home in Cape Town, South Africa, Pinelands. My name is Mariette Hopley. I was the logistical coordinator for the Satellite Rehabilitation Center at Salt River. Today, 20 years ago, the MV Treasure sank between Dassen Island and Robben Island, creating a massive oil slick covering thousands of penguins in oil. I so remember this day when Estelle van der Merwe called me and she said to me, Mariette, we have a major crisis and we need to do something. We need to find a facility because it looks like we're probably going to look at African penguins covered in oil. Could be 25,000, could be 20,000. And having been part or having facilitated satellite rehabilitation centers at Air Force Base Easterplaat for the Apollo C and Spill and the Cordillera, I realized what these penguins would need, and I realized what we would need to set up a satellite facility. And obviously I said to Estelle, don't worry, let me try and find a facility and let's just see what we can do. So through my network, I managed to secure the Salt River Railway shed through Transnet. And I met up on that specific day with Estelle at this shed, and Estelle still said to me, "There's so much stuff in this shed that's got nothing to do with penguin rehabilitation. How would we ever clear the site and get it rigged up to facilitate all these amounts of penguins?" And I said to her, "Please don't worry. Give me 24 hours and I'll see what I can do." And we left each other there. I got in my car and I still remember I drove to Kailicha, Guguletu and Langa, and I picked up 27, I linked up with 27 guys, but we picked them up and I took them to the shed and I asked them to wait for me. And these were guys, namely, and I will still remember their names, Lawrence, Big Man, Grootman, Oman. There was all these amazing guys that had no work, and they from an underprivileged community. And I said to them, "Do you want to work with me? Are you willing to learn? Can I teach you how to build swimming pools from canvas and tires and sand?" And they said, "Yes, ma'am, we're willing to learn." And so I managed to source these guys who helped me to clear the shed. Transnet was amazing. I had the support of the Cape Town municipality, who I brought on board to help me with electricity and the water in order to get all the supplies running and set up the temporary holding facility for these very, very oiled birds. 24 hours, the first birds arrived at the Salt River station. I still received them, and I will never forget this moment in time for as long as I live. There were thousands of penguins arriving in boxes, and they were wheezing. They were not able to breathe. They were sitting on top of each other. They were covered in crude oil. The crude oil stench was so bad and hanging so heavily in the air, we could not breathe. At the same time, being in the military as an officer, I quickly asked the military to come on board with their trucks and their personnel, because a lot of these personnel was trained by us during the Apollo C oil spill and the Cordillera oil spill, where we facilitated on the military base the rehabilitation of the birds. So I managed to bring my teams together that I have created in the past to support us at the Salt River station. We set up all these blue porta pools, and the familiar pictures always when you close your eyes about the treasure oil spills, oil birds and a shed with a lot of blue porta pools. And yes, that was the only holding facilities I could get for these birds as pens. And I had an amazing company, the Porta Pool Group here in Epping Industria in Cape Town, who came around and said, "Mariette, how can we support you?" Because I made a call to them and I said, "Maybe you need to come and see for yourself. I want 50 porta pools, but maybe we're going to need about 5,000 porta pools." And so they came around and they just started getting together every single porta pool that they have on ground and from other sources to help and facilitate me with holding areas, temporary holding areas for these birds. For a lot of people, this rehabilitation process carried on for 12 weeks. For me, it carried on for 18 weeks because I had to mobilize with my team. I had to work the treasure oil spill, and then I had to demobilize. Looking at these birds and still remembering the first night and the second night and what is needed to keep them going and rehydrate them with my special flashback pools, just putting in water, changing the water constantly. I just had one thing in my head, and that was that every bird and every chick counted. Because this is a population of birds that's unique to South Africa. And as much as they are here, they had a large decline in their population. So I'm thankful, if I think back, I'm thankful for all the people from the municipality, from the military, and my team of people that was unskilled, that became exceptionally skilled on the ground, that stood with me during this time and that were with me and that just supported me with so much passion and courage, even though there were good weather, bad weather days, bad wind, ripping the outside areas to shreds, rebuilding in the morning, fixing up, tying down in the mornings, sorting out food, sorting out the medical stations, sorting out the welcoming desks for volunteers, and just getting people divided into different sections. I met so many amazing people and so many amazing core team people. I still so fondly every now and then look at my coffee table book that I have, the spill. And then when I open it, then I have these amazing messages from people that crossed my road. And one of them, that is a very, very close friend of mine that I love dearly is Sarah Scarf. She was the director of I4 emergency relief. And she wrote here, "Dearest Mariette, what can I say about everything you did to make this a success? Wonderful, fantastic, superwoman effort. Thank you." Then, "Dear Marietta, heartfelt congratulations on an incredible job, incredibly well done, from Zane and the Cape Nature Conservation team." I can go on. Even Paul Britton, our chairman then from SANCCOB, "Dear Mariette, without your salt river would not have happened. Wat kan ek vir jou nog sê, Paul Britton?" So there's just so many amazing messages that I've received and such an amazing network that I've built and people that I think fondly of that was just there to support. And the camaraderie during that time of people just coming together and wanting to make a difference and wanting to save these birds. I want to pay tribute to Althea Westphal, who took me as a young lieutenant in my days, and she actually taught me everything there was to know about building satellite centers and looking at bird rehabilitation from a different angle and supporting these amazing birds in terms of helping them to survive oil spills and so that we can actually have this as part of our heritage and for our children and their children's children. And so today I pay tribute to Sarah Scarf. I pay tribute to Estelle van der Merwe, to Jay Holcomb, my dear friend and president of IBRC, who passed away, Barbara Callahan, Linda Elliott, Mark Russell, Heidi Stout. These are all people that were just absolutely phenomenal in our core team. And without them, we wouldn't have been able to succeed and have built the SANCCOB we have built today in terms of being acknowledged as in the history of mankind, this was the largest oil spill and rehabilitation effort. And this is just proof that we can get together or come together from so many different NGOs and make something happen and have a success with what we try and do and achieve through passion and through drive. Also to our volunteers and people who were part of this amazing operation, I salute you all. And today still, I sometimes cross my path with yours. My journey did not end there. After the treasure oil spill, I was elected as a chairperson or the chair for the executive committee of SANCCOB. I realized also with my communication with Paul Britton and Estelle that we would need to change SANCCOB to a business model with a board that would be strategically driving the way forward for this organization. And I was very happy to be part of the changeover and the facilitation of SANCCOB becoming the new SANCCOB of our era. so after the completion of the process of bringing SANCCOB into the new era with the board of directors, I stepped down, and I carried on as a volunteer of SANCCOB up and until Margaret Roostorff, who was the CEO of SANCCOB, approached me, and she asked me if she can nominate me for the board, or to be a board director in 2014, 2015. And I said, obviously, yes, because I've got such a long history with SANCCOB. I mean, today it goes back like 31 years. I mean, it's many, many years of time and energy that I've put into the organization, and being part of phenomenal people, being part of a team. And so, yes, I joined the board, and I then was elected as the board chairperson. I took over from Michael Edmonds, who's also somebody that have been substantial in driving SANCCOB during the new phase. And so becoming chairperson of SANCCOB, my circle was pretty much completed with SANCCOB in terms of starting off as a young lieutenant, facilitating oil spills at Air Force Base Easterplot, not knowing much about penguin rehabilitation, to becoming somebody that understand the world of penguins and rehabilitation, and be able to share and teach people and learn from the best in the world. So I'm very proud to have been part of this specific treasure oil spill and be the logistical manager. I'm proud to have been part of SANCCOB for so many years and be part of a formidable team. I'm also proud to have been able to be part of the milestones that SANCCOB reached in their era or their lifespan. Before I stepped down as board chairperson, I was so glad that I could help and drive together with the board and with the CEO of SANCCOB and the management team, the building of the new SANCCOB facility, the new face of another new era for SANCCOB, and be able to open it together with them, and then be able to take my leave due to work commitments. So on this very special day, I salute SANCCOB, the management under leadership of Dr. Stephen van der Spey, and the board of directors of SANCCOB, and so many other NGOs that was part of the treasure oil spill and still being part of the network today, for amazing work done and still doing amazing work for our amazing marine seabirds. I wish you all the luck and all the best on the road ahead, and remember that I will always treasure this commemorative day for the rest of my life. Thank you.